I remember there was one point in the program that Palak said something very, very, very profound. I'm like, yes, this is this. She said something along the line of, like we underestimate what we could achieve in 5 years, but we overestimate what we could do in a day. And that was totally me. So when I wrote my goal 5 years, I was like, maybe 10 doors. And I would put the word maybe because I was not very confident about it. And that's just 10x it. You don't know. Like I underestimate my ability to get it there. And I just add another zero after the 10.
Hey, this is Niti, and what you're about to hear today is a very special episode with one of the members from our portfolio program.
We call these Sensei Sessions. These interviews are designed to give you a perspective about what you can achieve with the right strategies and execution.
I hope you enjoy this episode, and for free resources, check out our show notes section to see how you can build and scale your portfolio.
Hey, everybody. Let's just kind of get started with the folks who are here on the panel and really get an idea from these portfolio mastery program Rockstars. So what I want to do is I'm going to start top left of my screen, which means I'm going to start with Vanessa. And I just want to, first of all, your name, where you live, and how has the BRRRR strategy changed your life? So I'm going to ask that same question of everyone here today. Your name, where you are, and how has BRRRR changed your life?
Okay, my name is Vanessa. I currently live in New Jersey, 2.5 years. And BRRRR strategy has basically changed my life in so many positive ways. In ways where I never knew that I had this side of me before. So it kind of brought back my old part that I used to be before I had kids. So yeah, I think it's has had a positive impact in my life. So that's where it kind of brought me.
That gave me chills, like when you think about what you did before, and then now you're getting something new from something completely different. So I love that. Thank you. Rebecca, I'm going to go to you. How has the BRRRR strategy changed your life, and where do you live?
Great. I live in Collingswood, New Jersey, which is a suburb of Philadelphia. And the BRRRR strategy, just like Vanessa said, has totally changed my life. I think in two main ways. First, again, the feeling of feeling very empowered that I'm in control of my future and my actions are really making a difference. And then I think secondly, honestly, I was definitely in a COVID funk after 2020 and 2021. And I definitely feel like focusing on the BRRRR strategy and starting this business and endeavor has really brought back kind of like Vanessa was saying, like my spark and kind of got me back to who I am.
I love that. And of course, we're going to talk about the results in a moment, but I really just want to get just sort of like an overview. Eileen, I'm going to go to you. How has BRRRR changed your life, and where are you right now?
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm in New York City, in Astoria, Queens, to be exact. So I guess it's changed my ways and changed my life in so many ways. A year ago, I didn't even really know what the BRRRR strategy was, but I've sort of had this secret, not secret obsession with trying to learn about real estate and real estate investing for forever. And my background is in communications, so it's completely different. And it just has opened up to the possibilities of, it's made me realize that everything that I've kind of been dreaming about is actually possible. And it's a really great roadmap. And so it was all of a sudden oh, holy crap, I can actually do real estate investing through this strategy. So it was a massive life light bulb. I don't know, I just made that term up, but that's really what it felt like. And it's just in a year, and I don't even want to do my real job anymore. I don't want to, it's I'm kind of obsessed with this. I really love thinking about it. And, I haven't in 20 years typically woken up and been super pumped to, dig in and get to work. And this has made me feel that. So it's kind of awesome to wake up and feel that way.
I wrote life light bulb down. I love that. You should use that. You've
put it on an app for you
before, and I love it. And by the way, Stephanie is also in New York City, Upper East Side. And I was born in Astoria.
Stop.
I live in Virginia now, but yeah, small
We'll
world.
chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been here for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Anne, I haven't talked with you in forever. How are you? How has BRRRR changed your life?
I'm doing great. Yes. Hi, everyone. Yes, my name is Anne. I'm from the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas. Been there for more than a decade and still here. The BRRRR strategy changes my life so much. And I think that the first thing that I've seen that have changed me so much is that I'm so confident now. Like I'm going my way, even though like if I don't know much, and I would not be afraid to ask questions. And then I realized that there are qualities about me that I didn't know before. And, like right after my first deal, I'm like, so this is me. So it just kind of like those qualities and of, being a leader, being a business owner, it's kind of like coming out. And I'm like, yeah, this is it. Like, I kind of feel like I discover myself, in a different lighting. And, it just feels like I don't have to be the follower. I am the one that can lead, that just go my way. I don't need to follow. So yeah, it definitely changes a lot in my perspective and, pretty much both in my life and, in business and professional life.
Nice.
Yep.
So this is me. That's what you said. That's on your t-shirt. So this is me.
This is me. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Erin, hello. BRRRR and where you live.
Okay, so I'm in New Jersey, and so it seems there's a lot of East Coasters on here. And so how it's changed my life, I have to say it's really the opportunity. So I'm still moving forward, and I'm a realtor, so I sell a house, I make money, and I spend that money. And this is something for my future and my daughter's future, and it's like a hopeful thing, building something that keeps growing and growing and growing. So I feel like it's just an ever-going process. It's not really how it's changed my life right now. It's how it's going to change my life and my family's life.
Mm-hmm. And you can see it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you can absolutely see that. Very cool. Thank you. Kimberly, hello. And I love your background. You're someplace tropical. So where are you physically right now? And how has BRRRR changed your life?
So I'm physically not here, although I wish I was. I physically live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area also, and I invest in this area. And the word that came to mind for me is liberating. So I am of the age and generation where I saw my parents work for the same company, for how many ever decades. They retired, they got the gold watch or whatever. And so that's really how I was raised. And that's how I thought about my career and how I make money. I've been with my company. This is my 18th year with my company, right? But BRRRR has made me realize that there are other ways that you can make money that don't involve you, being plugged to a certain desk or a certain company. It allows you to do real estate from places like this if you decide that you actually want to. So I think liberating has really been the word for me. And also liberating in the fact that it has challenged me to try something new. A lot of times we go to school for something, although I'm not utilizing that medical degree in my W-2 job, but you go to school for something and you think that, this has to be your path, right? And I think the younger generations have really kind of gotten it right because they don't stay with companies. They try a whole bunch of different things. And so it's been liberating for me to try something new and see that I can learn a new process and be successful at it.
Perfect. So good. Anne and Randy, hello. So we're asking, where are you right now and how has BRRRR, the strategy, changed?
Yeah, we're in Southwest Michigan, and BRRRR has given us, I guess, a system and a strategy on developing real estate. We knew that real estate was kind of our next career stage. We're both semi-retired, but we know we needed something else to do and we like to make money. And so just BRRRR kind of gave us the plan. We knew we wanted to move quick. We just didn't know how to do it. And so BRRRR gave us the plan and the strategy.
Love. Love, love, love. Okay. So I'm going to go back around. I'm going to start with Ann and Randy this time. And I want to give our audience a sense of what you've been able to grow through this program. I have talked with all of you all at this point. Who knows what has changed since the last time I talked with you? And for some of you, it's only been like a few days. Anna, Randy, I'm looking at you. But tell me, what have you been able to grow from your participation in this program?
Yeah, so we started the program really at the beginning of the year. And in basically 6 months, we've been able to acquire 4 BRRRR properties. And so the program and the system allowed us to do that quickly, which is what we wanted to do. So we have 2 that are currently rented and 2 that are under renovation. And then along with that, we have enhanced kind of the program to do some flips that give us more funding for our BRRRR deals. And to be honest with you, what we learned in this system enabled us to do those additional flip deals. So yeah, 4 BRRRRs and 4 flips going on right now.
Amazing, amazing. And what is your total portfolio value? Total portfolio. I can't even get that out. Have you done the math?
I have. We're at about 1.7 million with both the BRRRRs and the flips.
It's June, right? Okay, 6 months. Okay. All right. Congratulations. We're going to talk more with you in a moment, but I think we just sort of might need to sit with that for a moment, because it took a lot of hard work and hustle, and we've watched you grow, and it's been really fun to see this happen. So thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Kimberly, let's go to you. What have you grown quickly, as I know, just through your participation in portfolio?
So this program has been really awesome for me because it helped me be confident in growing and learning and making mistakes and having someone to talk to about, different aspects of the faith. So I currently have 2 rental properties, one that's done. My renter is actually moving in today, so I'm very excited. Money is coming in now. My second property is under construction right now and should be ready before the end of the summer, hoping to have that rented before school starts, because, that's when people tend to move. My portfolio is around $400,000 at this point, and I'm starting to look for other properties. And so I know that that's literally what you meant, like, what is your portfolio look like? But I would just really say the program in general has helped me grow in confidence, and it's helped me grow in my network. Everybody that's on this screen, I see them regularly. I feel comfortable reaching out to them. And so it's helped me grow my confidence. So just a side note.
Well, I kind of feel like that as well. Like, I have not seen anyone on the screen in person, but I feel like I know them, and I know you do as well. On the calls, you talk with them. They tell minute details about what's happening with their deals, and you just really feel like you know what's happening. So it's a community. Thank you. Erin, how about you? What do you have?
Oh. I might be the slowest mover on this panel, but I'm a new mom. I have one that is going to be on the market hopefully on Friday. It'll be listed.
Awesome.
And right now I'm searching, for my second deal.
Okay.
So
That's fabulous. And congratulations, new baby. Congratulations. So yeah, all good. And how about you? And I mean, lots happening with you. So what have you grown since the program?
Yes, a lot. I'll say that the first thing is, when I first started the program, I didn't even know real estate. And I don't even bother telling me about like those properties under distress. And I remember when I first looking at it, there was a lot of resistance in me. There were a lot of excuses like, oh, this is the first time, didn't know much about real estate, etc. And then when I was in the program and resource. Like I get to meet other people that, they live in California, they live in, places that, BRRRR just, not working out that much, like my area as well. And I remember I was just like, but, I never been out of state before and all of that. And guess what? Other people do that. And that kind of take out the resistance, self-resistance right away. And then I remember like, even when I talk to the lenders, they, come up with different terms and they sometimes more expensive. And then, they will recommend like, why don't you call these people? And why don't you call this person? And I'm like, okay, it's all like, for me, it feels like I'm just not thinking anymore. I'm just gonna do it. Thinking is just a waste of time for me at that point. So that was me. I learned so much from that. And I got to build a whole team out of state, including everyone. And I was so amazed because I had not done this before, especially out of state, not to say that, like there's a team out there that pretty much looking for my decision, I'm the, like for my executive decision. So that is great. And I learned to trust them, as the time goes. I learned to trust like, hey, if something, because I'm out of state, I cannot physically be there every day. So everything they tell me, I trust them, and they took good care of me. So yeah, I learned from that. And right now I have one property completely rented out, like already go through like the home BRRRR cycle. And so my ARV right now is 150K. And you know what? And this program also give us a very, very clear, very, very, very clear path of how we're gonna proceed in the future, because I and my husband, we have one goal. Like there can be so many paths to get to that goal, but now like it's so clear, like, okay, there's one goal, so let's just make it happen. Could be any way, but it just like the program gives us like a very clear picture of what we want, of how we're gonna become, 10 years down the road. So yep, it's amazing. So yeah,
can't wait to see as you get there. It's a clear roadmap too. So congratulations, that's fabulous. Eileen, let's go to you. And what have you created?
I mean, this community, is a big one. So I don't know if you're talking about, we're all kind of sharing property and then also more softer side things, but this community, sure, it's, the support from the community. I didn't know these folks before February, and now I do, and it's awesome. Also grown my network in Jacksonville, which is my city that I invest in. So yeah, it's sort of like one thing leads to another. You meet like the realtor, and then they introduce you to the contractor. My contractor introduced me to my landscaper. And so it's kind of like a domino effect. I know CK asked in the chat, like, I didn't have any contacts, but it just, you grow that. And so I've definitely, grown community and my database and network. And then, so I'm kind of with Erin, I'm like on the slower side, I guess. But I'm psyched at what I've accomplished. My property is going to also hopefully be listed for rent this week. So got my professional photos and figure out where to list it, and it looks great, and I'm psyched. And so yeah, the property hopefully will ARV conservatively 200,000. I'm hoping for 210. So we'll see when that next step happens where I net out. But yeah, also currently just looking for my next one, because I want to get started and then hopefully have a couple more, like multiple ones going at the same time. And I'm looking at Anne and Randy as my inspiration for that.
We're all looking at you, but
I know,
now you have a path and a plan, right? You have a path and a plan, and now you know what you're looking for and how to get where you want to go. Congratulations. That is huge.
Thanks.
Huge. Yeah, Rebecca, going to you. What have you created?
Oh, so my first property is up for rent. And so hopefully we'll have a renter soon. And in that property, I should have about 90,000 in equity that we built through BRRRR, through the buying. So that's really incredible. And then our second property is a duplex, and we are starting construction on that one, and getting that one ready. Knock on wood, it should be a more easier renovation. And then we actually have a bid out on our third, yesterday we put out like our best and final offer. So I'm hoping we hear back and we get that third property. But if not, then we'll just keep looking for our third. But that's kind of where we're trying to get, like just what Eileen was saying, two going at the same time. That's what we're looking to do for our next.
I'm going to come back to that point, but I just love the conversation that we're having about things that maybe would not have been so easy 3 years ago. Could you have had the idea that you would be juggling multiple homes that you're going through rehab with and renting and all of that? So I'm going to come back to that point, but I love that, Rebecca. Thank you. Vanessa. Okay. What have you created? A lot.
I started at the end of September 29th of 2021, and it took us about 8 months to find our first property, but we started in February, and I went through 2 different neighborhoods. I wanted to be close to home. I had the fear of being out of state. I wanted to drive. I get that. We all get it. And then comes May, we purchased our first home in Philadelphia. And then I had set myself a goal. I said, I want to have 3 properties under my belt before the end of the summer. And we purchased 2 more in the month of August. So right now I have 3 single family homes. I'm in the process of refining all 3, and I have an equity of $600,000. And I wouldn't have made it through this program without Palak and Niti as being the best mentors, coaches you could ever possibly have. They literally give you everything on a silver platter. On top of that, I am so, so grateful for staying in this community because I've met so many wonderful friends. Like Erin, we've met, like you say, you see each other through Zoom calls, right? We don't actually physically see each other. But when we saw each other, she's like, hey, I feel like I just saw you. Like, I'm like, it's a really nice vibe and connection. And you need to lean on your members because, you're going to have a lot of ups and downs, but I love it. I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
I love that. So you got to meet her in person? Is that what you're saying?
We
did.
We went for
touch hands?
Yeah, we actually touched hands. I was like, you're so short. No.
It's called petite. Yeah. I love it. Okay. CK had a great question asking everyone, and we all remember, I don't think anyone here is on this panel, I don't think anyone here had construction experience before, right? So the reason I ask that is really 3 years ago, you maybe did not know how to do what you do now. Am I correct in that? Okay. So CK's question is, any advice to someone just getting started in this space who doesn't have a ton of money and literally 0 contacts in real estate lending or construction? So how many of you were those people? Like, okay, great. Me too. Reading, watching, and listening to lots, but what might be the first 1 to 2 years look like to get things off the ground? So who wants to tackle that question?
I kind of answered it in the chat.
That's fine, please.
I would say join a program or link up with someone who is where you want to be. And I feel like that's, life advice, right? Because the speed that you can go at if you follow in the path of someone who already is where you are. And that's why I love this program, because we share openly. It's kind of crazy because a lot of us are investing in the same places, but it's really not competitive. Everyone is so helpful, but you learn so much and you learn what to avoid and not do when you join a program and someone just kind of lays out for you the steps, the modules. Really, I started making offers as soon as I finished the modules within the program. I didn't get a deal that quickly, but I started, making offers because I felt confident, because they laid out step by step each process, each part of the BRRRR process. So number 1 advice, link up with people who are where you want to be. And that will make your first year to 2 so much quicker. And it'll make you more comfortable and confident. I've made mistakes in the process, but I jumped on a Sunday call with Niti and was like, hey, this is what's going on. What should I do? And they have responded. but also members of the group have responded. It's been so helpful.
The community, that's for sure. Anyone else want to respond to somebody who is just uncertain in the very beginning? How do you get over that hump? Erin, please.
I think it depends on the person and how fast you really want to grow this. I did it when I was 3 months. I joined the program 3 months from giving birth. A lot happened. I was still working, and I'm okay with it. So in that 1 to 2 years, it's really how much you want to expand. You don't really need a lot of money to start. They teach us how to use other people's money to do the investing. And the beauty of the program is the modules, Palak and Niti, and the community. And it's really leaning on each other. Whenever you have a question, you just log on or you type it in the Facebook group and you get answers by multiple people and everyone shares information. So we're not really competing against each other. We're all just collaborating.
I want to ask about the program itself now. What are some of your biggest takeaways from it?
I can talk about that.
Yeah, please, Anne.
Yeah. So for me, like it's kind of linked to the previous question too. For me, like when I was in analysis paralysis, it's more like I lack the knowledge. I don't know what kind of risk that is. I couldn't have quantified it. And that turns into like a ball of uncertainty and anxiety in me. So this program helps me to break it down step by step. Pretty much I felt like I was in the classroom and Niti and Palak, my professors, will walk me, hold my hands through each step of the way. And once I started to understand, understand a bigger picture, so this is how it starts, this is how it ends, then I felt so much better. I'm like, okay, I have this knowledge now. Now I know so I could turn to like, what would be the worst case scenario if that happened? Like, that's just me. Like, I always think about the worst case, not the worst case, but what is the last option and how did it look like? Would I be comfortable with it? And the program taught me that. The program gave me that knowledge so that I could decide for myself if I want to jump off, if I want to pull the plug or not. And that helps a lot for me to get out there and just do it because I have that knowledge in me that, that I'm fine. Yeah. The risk is already calculated. So yeah.
Very good. Any more takeaways from the program? Rebecca?
Yeah, I can jump in. Again, I think so much. It's just been so absolutely incredible. And I think a couple points that just haven't been touched upon, I want to add. I mean, first, definitely demystifying the process. So much of real estate investing, especially for me, I had no background, no one in my family does anything aside from just their primary residence. So demystifying the steps, and also especially with the finance piece, really taking a deep dive. That was one of the most intimidating pieces for me. And sort of like hearing Palak be like, yes, I called, 20 lenders and that's what you have to do. And I was like, okay. So that was fantastic. I also think that changing, again, my mind shift of like, being very fearful of making a mistake, being very fearful of losing money, and sort of understanding that there is, I've also, just like Kimberly said, I've made some mistakes so far, but understanding that that's sort of part of the business. That's part of taking a risk. And so that's, I think, really helped me. I think it would have taken me years to sort of get there without this program. And I think third, just as people have mentioned, is the real community, and having, being able to be on 2 live calls a week in addition to the modules, where you're really with very like-minded people who are taking action. And so sort of having that like twice a week repetition has been so good for me to be like, yes, I can do this. Yes, I'm going to make an offer on this. And I think if I didn't invest in myself by taking this program, it just would have taken me years to get to where I am. So it's such it really puts it in, it compresses the time frame so much. And I think that's just so incredibly valuable.
I'm hearing you and I'm thinking of the word just empowering, right? We're being empowered in many ways. Yeah, really good, Rebecca. All right, Kimberly, your hand is up, I think, right?
Okay. Yes, it is. I get so excited about this. You all will have to tell me to stop talking. But my 2 takeaways, I would say one from Niti is the best deal that he ever did was not doing a bad deal. That has been so helpful for me because I am the type of person that when I decide I want to do something, I want to go. I want to go, 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 go. And that has really stuck in the back of my head. And from Pollock, she is really good about reminding us and doing like centering affirmations. And she does a lot of the work on mindset. Like the first couple of modules are really about mindset and the mindset that you need to be in to be a successful investor. And I think that that is so very important. And it's not something that I actually was looking for or thinking about when I started my real estate journey. Like I was thinking, oh, I need to find a realtor. Oh, I need to find a contractor. But really and truly, she's so correct. Your first step is your mindset. And I think the program and she do such a good job on highlighting that. And she threads it into our Wednesday calls. And so that has been really great for me because that is what has sustained me throughout this journey. When the time has gotten hard or when I've made a mistake or a contractor's getting on my nerves or whatever, the mindset, my long-term goal of why I'm doing this is what has sustained me.
Well, you know that she's doing something right when you're thinking, you're going about your day and you just hear her voice in the back of your head, right? Don't give up. Don't give up. All of that. So congrats, Pollock, wherever you are over there. All right. Who's next with the takeaways? Let me see. Who haven't I heard from? Oh, Vanessa. Thanks, Kimberly.
Yeah. So when I started this, biggest takeaway is basically building confidence. I leaned on my husband in the beginning of this process, and I was in the background. I only listened, and he was the one that made the phone calls to the lenders, and I was petrified to pick up the phone and talk professional. And then Pollock with the mindset game and Nitty, like already envision yourself as a professional investor. Say it out, put it out there in the universe. And I get that, Kimberly, with the mindset modules in the beginning. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? You literally had to rewire everything in your brain and really get in focus mode and live the life of as an out-of-state investor. So that was one big takeaway for me, building up my confidence. And now I'm making the phone calls. I'm talking to the GC. I'm doing the lenders. I'm doing the PM. I'm basically doing it all. And I love it. And second takeaway, better than a college degree. I'm so happy I spent my money into this. I was looking to go look for a college degree and do something in accounting. And instead of paying a tuition, I paid this. I paid my way through this and set my future up for my children.
It's interesting. People would look at you, all of you, and say, oh, they're investors. But maybe that's not how you felt a year or two ago. It's just interesting how that mindset piece is so important, but how you look at yourself now is probably most likely. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Awesome. Thanks. Okay. Ann and Randy.
Yeah. So I just want to piggyback off of, I think something Rebecca said, one of the reasons we did this, we've taken risks. We've gone through super hard financial times. We've gone without, we know how to sacrifice and do all that stuff and work hard. What we didn't want to do was make stupid mistakes and take a lot of time to figure things out. And so that's what, that's one of our huge takeaways, thankfulness, whatever you want to call it with this program, is it enabled us to move quickly, to learn and to mitigate the mistakes. And so that has been absolutely invaluable to us. And one of the reasons we've been able to move forward, fairly quickly is because of the system. So, we don't like to lose money. And if we're going to work hard, let's keep it in our pockets rather than losing money. And this system gave us the confidence. Some other people have said that, and the knowledge, to be able to step out and take some risks and have them pay off.
Love it. I think you're losing your voice, and I'm sorry about that, but you're not losing money. So that's all that matters. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to ask you a question about vision. What is your real estate vision? Like what, and maybe you've talked about this with Pollock, because I know Pollock talks about this, but I haven't heard it. And I think it'd be really beneficial for our audience to hear what your real estate vision is. and how you're going to use this program, or how you will use what you've learned in this program to get you there.
Our vision is to have a real estate empire. No sugarcoating it. We want to have a real estate empire. We want to build passive income. We've worked very hard in our first careers. We've done the corporate grind. Randy's been a business owner. You know, we've done all that, and it's hard. We're okay doing hard things. We want to do hard things in a smart way. So for us, it is to this year, you know, our goal going into this year was to have 20 doors. Our goal in 5 years is to have, oh gosh, I forgot. 125 doors. You know, maybe we'll hit it, maybe not, but if we don't set it, you know, we're not going to get it. So we just want to build passive income, and I want to teach my adult children how to do this so that they're not working through the corporate world for 40 years. So
that's awesome. And what in particular in this program will help you through that? And I know that you've talked about I know Palak said, wow. I know you've talked about the systems, and Palak is so good with them. Is there one thing maybe that will?
I think it's two things, and everyone's mentioned it. The systems, this gave us the know-how and the knowledge. And then the community gives us the connection. There's confidence there with the system and with the community, but that combination is the moneymaker. You got the system that gives you the knowledge, and you've got the community, the iron sharpening iron. You know, you can go ask questions, you can have a bad moment and get people that step up and encourage you. And those two things together, that's the dynamite combination.
A bit of crowdsourcing that comes from the live sessions where, you know, it could be something you've heard before, or at least some angle of that, but suddenly you hear it a different way. You know, Rebecca said a few things just a few minutes ago, and I'm like, wow, you know, it's not necessarily new, but I love the way she said it, and it impacted me better than all the times I've heard it before. So it's that constant reshaping of the same tenets or principles that, you know, just sort of keep things rolling and give you a new understanding of how things work. And again, the confidence to continue on.
Kind of like the right place, right time. The right place where you hear what you need to hear is what's so critical. So love your vision. Kimberly, what's yours?
My vision is very similar. My goal is to have 100 doors also. I am very driven. What actually made me get into real estate is I have a 7-year-old, I have 2 boys, but my 7-year-old was talking to me one day because I work from home, and he asked me, he was like, "Mommy, you really like your job?" I was like, "I really do. I really like my job." He was like, "Well, maybe when I get older, I can do the job with you." And it made me realize that I cannot give my W-2, my corporate job, to my child. He can go to school and he can learn how to do this, but it's not something that I can give to him. I can't pass that along. And so real estate actually is something that I can teach them how to do right now. And I am at every property. They have to do a little something like paint a wall or plant a flower garden or something of that nature. But it is something that I can build for them right now that I actually can hand off to them. And so that is my vision, and that's what drives me. That's what my dream is. But 100 doors is my goal. And I'm very similar to Ann. My goal is for this year is 10 doors, and I'm not anywhere near that. And I was kind of beating myself up not too long ago, but I realized that I just started real estate and I have 2 doors. That's 2 more doors than I would have had I not done anything, right? So even if I fall short of that 10, and we still have 6 months to go, so who knows? But even if I fall short, I have more now than I would have had if I had been like kind of in that analysis paralysis, because that's a really real thing.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
You got it. That's fabulous. Thank you. Eileen.
Kimberly is going to make me cry a little bit talking about her kids, because like that's sort of my vision too. My kids are 12 and 7, and I don't want them to have to take out college loans like I did. I want to be able to like instill a really solid sense of hard work. You know, I've been working since I was 14 years old. I got my first job at like a yogurt shop, and I want them to know how to work hard, but I also want to be able to pay for college for them. And I want to like do deals from the beach, like just selfishly. When Palak said that she was traveling in India and like her realtor called her, like, this is a really great property. And she was like, yep, do it. So to be able to, you know, in a few years, have that team and have just sort of like such a well-oiled machine that I can be like sitting in the Caribbean, sipping on a drink and say like, yeah, pull the trigger on that one. Yeah. You know, like my husband and I talk about spending summers. He's from Ecuador, spending summers in Ecuador, but being able to like keep this going, or, you know, just to have the freedom. I mean, I'm knocking on 50 on age 50. And like, I had to say age 50. That's a weird way to phrase it, but I didn't want you to think 50 doors. I didn't have anybody to teach me about 401ks, like any of that shit. I got into really bad debt when I was in my 20s. And I just, you know, like I just started thinking about my retirement, and I like, if I don't make bold moves now, like, where am I going to be? And so I just keep envisioning myself on the beach and paying for college. And so it's a little bit like selfish and practical all at the same time, but just to kind of like, you know, break the cycle of, you know, kind of how I've grown up, and to be able to teach my kids all of this. And, you know, they don't have to go into real estate investing, but to just have like an understanding of the possibilities. So yeah, it's emotional and like passionate. And I just thank this program for that, because I just have like such a fire in my belly and, you know, visions of margaritas.
I love it. And we all do too now. Eileen, thank you. And hang
especially
tight.
with Kimberly's background.
I know, right? It all goes together. Okay, and hang tight. I think Vanessa had her hand up, right? So let me go to Vanessa and then Anne. Thanks. Okay, Vanessa.
Hey, I love talking about this part. My vision, I don't have a number because I don't want to stop. It's a little bit of everyone, and of Anne, of Kimberly, of Eileen. I want to be able to, and I want to have 20, by the end of this year, I wanted to have 20 doors. That's my goal too. I'm halfway there. I haven't had any yet, but that's okay. I'm going through other systems and processes at the moment, but I have not given up on it. As for sitting on the beach and vacationing, yeah, I want to do that. Just like Palak and Eileen, I want to order my drink and start making deals, not even being present and just letting things go right where it should go. And I want to have my husband home. I want him home with the kids. In my vision, I want him coaching for his kids. I want to see him doing baseball and soccer coaching. Like, I want to see him do that because he loves sports. And I see these dads being able to do it. I'm like, damn, I wish my husband was able to do that. As much as he loves it, he can't commit to it. So that is my dream and vision.
Love, love, love. Thanks for sharing that, Vanessa. Anne, how about you?
Yeah, so I feel like after listening to everyone, I felt like I have a very similar goal in 5 years. And my goal in 5 years is to get 100 units, or, 100 doors in 5 years. And how do I get this through the program? First of all, is the mentality is the mindset, like, just like the fact that we all, have very similar goal, that we just want to be like, a real estate one goal, like we go big. And that vibration right there, it's that the energy, like it brings everyone up, and it brings me up too. And I remember, there was a time that, I'm kind of like burned out, kind of want to relax, and that's great. Like, I have my relaxation, but when I come back, like the team is there. So I'm like, okay, now let's focus on this, because everyone has that similar mindset. And I remember, and I remember there was one point in the program that Palak said something very, very, very profound. I'm like, yes, this is this. She said something along the line of, like we underestimate what we could achieve in 5 years, but we overestimate what we could do in a day. And that was totally me. So when I wrote my goal 5 years, I was like, maybe 10 doors. And I would put the word maybe because I was not very confident about it. And that's just like, just 10 exit, you don't know. Like I underestimate my ability to get it there. And I just add another 0 after the 10. So there's that. And yeah, just the mindset, like, I felt like the whole group and Palak and Niti, sometimes I know that, there are a lot of things that happen in life, with finance, with, just how it is. And then they brought me back to my original intention, like, why did I sign up for the program? They reminded me, and I was reminded, oh yeah, the original intention is I want to become financially independent. I just want that. I want the world to be my oyster, and that's it. And they got, that is the mindset and the knowledge. Like, obviously, like I'm in the loop, and just if I have questions or if I make mistake, I make a lot of mistakes in my first property. And you know what, like I just like came in, ask Palak and Niti, like, hey, what should I do about this? And then they give me answers, but in a very gentle way, because like when people make mistake, I was the one that being really hard on myself, and I'm like, oh man, like why would I do this, why would I do that? And then they just very gentle, they're like, it's okay, we learned, like that's okay, like they've been there, they done that. And then I felt much calmer. I'm like, okay, it's okay to make mistake as long as I fix it and I learn from that, and that's okay. So yeah, like that's how I felt about this. And I feel like everyone, most people here in the program, they feel similar way. It's fine. Yeah.
And thank you. All right, who wants to? I think Rebecca, have you?
Whoops. No, I haven't, but I'll go. I mean, I share so many of the similar things that people have said. And again, my goal, which seems very high, is 10 properties in a year. And again, I started, just like Kimberly was saying, like started to feel bad about that. Like, oh, I'm not going to get it. But then I'm like, wait, no, we could. There's still 6 months left, and still moving forward. And then I totally agree with Eileen and Kimberly and Vanessa. This is all about my children, giving them a future and also, retirement security, so I'm not a burden on them as well. But then also really, showing them this process and how and what they can do, and that, they can really then have the freedom to pursue whatever they want. But if they have this as a also, it will help them be financially free.
Fabulous. Okay, Erin, my last one, I think. Okay, let's go to you, and then.
So I think Anne said it in the beginning with passive income. That word to me is the most important thing. Just to be able to make money when you're not physically somewhere has always been a goal of mine. And then I'm also an older mom, and I was thinking, gosh, in 18 years, when my daughter graduates high school, what is her future going to look like then? Because right now I feel like it's so tough. So what can I build for her starting now? And I think that's really, honestly, the driving force between why, I joined this program in the first place. And it's exciting. You never know how much you can grow. I have other things that I do. So my goal wasn't as lofty, maybe 5 a year, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, everyone's goals are different, and it's great.
I love hearing these goals. They're really inspiring to me, and maybe for the folks who are joining us, hopefully inspiring to you as well. Okay, my last question, and then we will wrap up, is how would you recommend this program to someone who is just hearing about it?
I'll say that for someone that just so new to real estate, someone like me, back then when I first started, it depends. I mean, I don't, like for me personally, like it's not like if someone opened their mouth like, oh yeah, what about the BRRRR? Like I'm interested. Like I would not, give them like the full information of how it is. But if it's someone that I know that, they have done, they have put a lot of thoughts into it, and when they talk, I know for sure that, okay, you're doing your homework, what it is, like, and it's like they have the clear intention of what to do. Then I'll recommend like, hey, like I have a mentor. She is, like she and, Nitty, like they are amazing. They helped me so much to go through my deals. And I was just like you. Then yeah, I will recommend it 100%. I'll tell everyone. But if it's someone that is not, that is, and I know like, because I had talked with my friends too, like a lot of them are not, like they're not serious about it, and so they kind of like go away. So that's kind of like a waste of time. But I know like when someone start talking and then start talking about numbers, I'm like, hey, like I only have this much money and I'm really wanna, like first of all, they save money. That's an indication that they actually serious about investing, and they start like, I want to use this, and I have maybe listened to a lot of podcasts, Bigger Pockets and all of that. So I'm like, okay, so what's going on, so you serious about that, then yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Thanks, Anne. Eileen.
Yeah, I guess I would just say that there's so much information out there on the internet, and Facebook groups and Bigger Pockets and, sort of random people giving advice. And you could do this on your own, but you're going to have to weed through all of that crap. And you don't know what to rely on. You don't know who to trust. You don't really you don't have that like North Star of like, okay, I'm stuck at this level. I'm going to ask this person. They've done it. And so it's just like cutting through the clutter is priceless. So like, could you do it on your own? Yeah, but it might take you like 10 times as long. You're going to make 10 times more mistakes. So like, just, cut through the clutter. Just, you're going to thank yourself after, just for finding something that you can, ground yourself in. So that's what I would say. Just, there's just a lot out there, and this just helps you with some clarity and like steps. It's so great. So
steps. Agreed. Eileen, thank you. Kimberly, and then Vanessa.
I feel like I should be an ambassador for the program already because I talk about it all the time. But what came to my mind when you said that, like the benefits of this program, it made me think of that African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go long. If you want to go far, go together. The benefit of this program is really that it allows you to go fast and far at the same time, because you have that community that is cheering you on, but you also have the modules that walk you through the whole process. And so you can do that at your own pace, right? Like I had finished my modules within the first couple of weeks or a month of joining the program. And so I was making deals like a month after joining the program, which is really, really awesome. So I think it just lessens that takeoff phase and helps get you out of that analysis paralysis. It allows you to go fast and far. So I just love it.
Kimberly, thank you. All right, Vanessa.
Yeah. So you have to have the fire in you to want to do this. You can't just be like, I'm just going to take some program because I don't know, maybe I just feel like it and I'm bored. No, you need to really be in it to win it. That's it. Like you got to have that fire, why you started, because you're going to keep going back to that fire as to why you started, because there's a lot of ups and downs, but all these ups and downs are all lessons learned that makes you even wiser and stronger. So that's my biggest thing. I think you got to keep going back to your fire.
I love that. I love that. All of you, I am so appreciative of your time, your energy, your inspiration. I think I wouldn't be the only one to believe that this has inspired someone here to move forward with whatever journey that they're wanting to go to related to real estate. And so I just wanted to say thank you for your time, your words, and again, your inspiration. Palak and Niti are here to take it away. I know that they've had a whole afternoon of just fabulous knowledge that they've shared.
Hey guys.
Yes, thank you so much. This panel is so amazing. Guys, everybody who's watching, can we please show some love for them? Just say thank you in the chat. There's so much gold that they've dropped.
So much
in
good
this
advice.
panel.
And yeah, thank you for taking the time, you guys. I know everybody has a lot going on, so I really, really appreciate it. Before we go, just one, any last words of wisdom for someone just starting out? You want to be like, go get it, get pumped up.
Just do it. Like, just jump in. You're going to regret it in 5 years if you don't. You're going to have that like itch in the back of your mind, like, oh, I wish I jumped in with real estate and like taken action, because in 5 years, you'll also, if you take action, you'll say, I'm so grateful that I did. So just like jump in. Don't be afraid. Like, there's just so much, and don't be afraid of this market that we're in, because Palak and Niti talk a lot and give us context of, what's going on in the market. And like, there is absolutely nothing to be afraid of. And, don't live with regrets. That just sucks. So
love it. Such great advice.
Erin, what were you saying? I know you typed it.
Oh, I was saying just do it. And I saw one of the comments that there are a lot of men in the group, actually, and a lot of
I don't know why. It happens to be a lot of women on the panel. Maybe Randy, you should say something.
On Randy.
He's the honorary guy in the panel.
It just happens to be that way today.
Yeah, I'll echo, everybody has said the same things that I would say, but it's just do it. I love what Eileen just said, which is you will regret not having done it 5 years from now. We regret, and I feel like we've been running, but we regret not having started this years and years ago. And so we're trying to make up time now, but so there's no better time than the present. And, if you've got a plan that you can follow, then it makes it that much easier to be active. So that's what I love about the program.
Love it. And Anna Randy, you're more than making up for that. You guys are moving pretty fast. So
I also don't believe that you're grandparents.
Yeah.
But you guys look so young.
I was just going to share my quote, but I keep quotes on my desk, and my favorite quote in regards to real estate from Flora Rita Schreiber is that you're never ready for what you have to do. You just do it, and that makes you ready. Like, I literally keep that on my desk in front of me. You just do it, and you will get ready along the way.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it.
It's fantastic.
Same thing, just do it, like you are the source. That's it. Nobody can push you. Even if you don't want to, if they push you, you're not going to do it. So you are the source. And if you make mistake, that is okay. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just like give yourself some grace. And guess what? Maybe 2-3 years down the road, look back, write it down, see like how much you have accomplished, because that's how much you have accomplished. Because I know that the past 10 years, I didn't notice how much I accomplished until I stop, and then I look back like, yeah, this is great. Like, I did a lot. So yeah.
Love it.
Love it. Love you guys. All right, everyone. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much.